Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt. Thanks for checking out the video. I wanted to give you guys a look at the new MSI claw. This is the 8AI Plus. They released two models. They released the 7-inch and the 8-inch. Obviously, one's got a 7-inch screen, the other one's got an 8-inch screen. The other difference is that the 7-inch comes with a 512 gig hard drive, and the 8-inch comes with a 1 TB hard drive. Also, the 7-inch only comes with like a 50 watt-hour battery, and this one, the 8-inch, comes with an 80 watt-hour battery. So huge difference there. Price-wise, it's only $100 difference. You're talking $799 to $899. Rest of the specs, both the devices come with a Intel Ultra 7 258V, which is their Lunar Lake chipset. Super efficient. The 8 comes with a terabyte of Gen 4 2230 hard drive, 32 gigs of DDR5 at like 8500 megahertz. I think it's like 885 33 megahertz. The GPU one is one of the new Intel Arcs. It's a 140V. Like I said, it's an 8-inch, 1920 by 1200, 120 hertz. It's an IPS panel, but it's a beautiful panel. Wi-Fi 7. They took a lot of feedback from the original claw and went as far as to actually take measurements of people's hands so that they can work on the ergonomics. It's got, like I said, it's got the 80 watt-hour battery. It's got a couple of really cool settings as far as like presets for AI, for power usage and stuff. We're going to get into some of that and just want to give you guys a quick look at it. So let's give her an unboxing. This is my MSI Dragon. I decided to name him Robert because, Robert sent it to me. Let's take a look and see what we got. So box, really pretty, shiny box. If you're into that stuff, I am kind of a dork and I like to collect these, so I keep all of these, and I really appreciate the box. So what do you get? MSI Claw Startup Guide. Quick guide. You get a cardboard stand there. You can take this off and kind of fold it up into a cardboard stand. You get your actual claw here. We got underneath here and a power brick. So put this aside and see what we got. So on the power brick, we got a 65 watt power brick. I don't think it's a GAN charger. I think it's just a regular 65 watt USB-C. It says Delta on it. I'm not sure what the brand is, but looks pretty decent quality. Doesn't feel too cheap. It's not going to be the same specs as like a U-Green or an Anchor, but it'll get the job done, right? So, all right, let's take a look. She's big, man, hefty. So I've already played with this device, but I just packed the back up so you can see what it's like when you get yours. Big, comfy girl, really nice. So there was some feedback on this device that the ergonomics on the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus is not quite as good as the 7 AI Plus. I like the way it feels. I find it to be really comfortable. As far as really feedback, the only thing I honestly feel like is where these plates here, where they meet right there, I wouldn't say sharp, but a little bit scratchy right there in the palm. That's really, other than that, it's actually pretty comfortable to hold. You can see your hands fit perfectly on the M1 and M2 buttons there. At least my hands do. I also heard something about the feedback on the texture here. I kind of like it. I like the way it feels. You see it's got two fan holes there, and it's got venting across the top. We have two USB 4 Thunderbolt ports on it, micro SD card reader, power button with a fingerprint scanner, 3.5mm jack on top, volume buttons, no ports on the bottom, nothing on the side. M1 and 2. She has Hall effect sticks and Hall effect triggers, which feels really good. RGB lighting around the sticks and the buttons. Kind of similar layout to what we've seen already especially with the Rogue Ally and stuff. So let's power up. Take a quick look there. Screen is beautiful. It's 120 hertz VRR screen. Really pretty. There is a bezel. It's not huge on the sides. It's a little bit bigger on the top and bottom, but it doesn't take away. It works well with the black trim here. You can see the buttons light up, D-pads light up. I mean, the sticks light up really good. Get logged in there real quick. So, really pretty screen. Nice touchpad's real nice. It's got a couple cool things. Similar to the Ally, they have center M as opposed to armory crate. You know, on the Ally, when you hit the left button here, it brings up your. Look, there's an update for center M. We'll take a look at that later. When you hit the left button here on the Ally, it brings up your quick menu, and the right is their armory crate. It's different. It's reverse here. So your left is going to bring up your center M. This is probably my biggest feedback here. So center M, that loaded pretty quickly. Sometimes you click it and it doesn't load. There is a new update for it, so maybe that has something to do with it. And it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a thin line of your apps. There's some features in here. There's a couple things that, you know, that you can go into settings and kind of look at the AI engine, and that's where you set the presets for, you know, TDP and stuff like that. Mystic Light is how you control the RGBs. There is noise cancellation, media gallery, system info, you know, general settings. So that's kind of cool there. You have control mode, just like with any other devices where you can put it in a mouse or control mode. News and updates, real similar, stuff like that. So, and on the right is going to be their hot buttons. Now, I like the hot buttons that come on this better than the ones that come with the Rogue Allies and Ally X. There's more buttons, more options, a little bit better. Like you got an FPS monitor there. You can do your AI engine there. You can set your settings on your keyboard. You can adjust your brightness, just like what comes on the Armory Crate, but just a little bit more options. Like you actually have an end task there. I didn't program that was set there, so if you're a Windows gamer, you know stuff freezes, and it's convenient to have an end task available just right there. That kind of stuff. I mean, overall, I'm not gonna get too deep in the weeds with this thing, but overall, I mean, I'm really digging it. Let me give you a point of reference just so you can know, so we can look at the size and weight and stuff. Let me grab something. All right, so here's an Ally. Yeah, so she's bigger than an Ally. Okay, obviously it's a screen. She's heavier than an Ally, not by much. I don't know the exact weight. I know that she's definitely heavy. I don't know what the exact weight is, but I will tell you the weight on this is really well balanced. Like it's heavier, but this is denser, if you know what I mean. Like this feels denser, like the weight is more concentrated here, and it just feels a little bit better on the claw. Let me grab another one. Here's a Steam Deck LCD. Steam Deck LCD. Now, I mean, still, as far as I'm concerned, Steam Deck is the king of Ergo on x86 devices. I don't know if anybody's got it. This does have a JSOX mod case on it, and it doesn't really add to the Ergo. It just contours to the existing Ergo and it protects it. But Steam Deck is just shorter top to bottom. Width-wise, it's the same. The Steam Deck, again, feels more dense. I think the Steam Deck LCD is heavier. Steam Deck OLED is lighter, but the LCD is heavier than the Claw 8 AI. But again, the weight is so well balanced with this back guy that it feels really good. So there's a good comparison there. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I really like the way this feels in your hand. Just the placement of the D-pad and the sticks and everything. Steam Deck, comfort-wise, just holding it is the king. But the placement and stuff, I mean, this is cool. But I actually prefer the thumbstick to D-pad on the Claw. Maybe just because it's just historically that's how we are all used to gaming, and it just feels more natural to me. So now D-pad, if you look at that D-pad, she's raised real good, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about that, but I like it. I like it. I enjoyed. I've had good success in playing Street Fighter and stuff like that, and getting Haryukens and stuff like that off of it. So pretty good. Great D-pad. I found it to be a great D-pad for stuff like Celeste and stuff. It's a little bit tighter than the Ally. I do love it. I still think the D-pad on the Ally is king. I still think the D-pad on the Ally is king. As far as face buttons, I'm gonna go claw. I think the claw's got better face buttons. Sticks, I think I'm gonna go claw. What I like about the sticks on the claw, they're probably about the same size, but they're a little bit more concave. If you can see that compared to the Ally, they're a little bit more concave. If you can tell, see the difference there. But the bigger thing for me with the sticks on the claw is they feel a little bit tighter. They feel a little bit tight. Now they're not going to be as good as something as like a Vader 4, where you have the adjustable stick tension and you can make them as tight as you want, right? But compared to the big boys, compared to like the Steam Deck and the Ally, I think I like the sticks better on the claw. I think they're just more comfortable. I think they feel better in your hand. Back buttons, I don't use a lot of the M buttons. I do like the placement on these. They have a nice feel to them. A very nice click. You hear that? They just feel good to me. As far as the shoulders and triggers, the shoulders feel really good too. They are, being a bigger device, I don't have huge hands. I don't have little hands, but I don't have huge hands either. But it's pretty comfortable. It's not a terrible reach to go, to be playing and reaching up here while you're using the sticks and stuff like that. It feels good because the shoulders are big. They are, you know what I mean? They're big boys, so it's not like they're little tiny babies and you got to struggle to hit them. And the triggers feel good. Triggers are almost no noise on the triggers. They feel real good. They feel responsive. You can feel the pull on that guy. So that's definitely a good feel there compared to like an Ally, which I love. So it's a smaller device, but the shoulders are a little bit smaller height-wise. From left to right, they're the same, but height-wise, they're a little bit shorter, but the device is smaller, so it works. Triggers are really good too. I'm gonna give that to I think I'm gonna go with the claw again on it. So performance-wise, I've played a bunch of stuff, and I haven't had anything that I struggle with. If you look at my games, there's not a ton of big heavyweight hitters on it. I have played Destiny on it. I have done some Switch emulation. I played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Hades, some Warframe. Not really any issue. I haven't had an issue running anything on this bad boy. I did do some PS3 emulation on it, worked like a champ. I mean, just pretty much everything has worked so far. So far, so good on this thing. I'm super duper impressed with it. Battery life has been really good. My only real critiques, I honestly say, are going to be that Center M software needs some work. It's sometimes it freezes when you click it, and it's just kind of, compared to Armory Crate, it's kind of boring, to be honest with you. It's kind of just plain, to be honest with you. But it's definitely, I'm going to tell you, this is my guy right now. I don't know, I took a leap of faith and I sold my Ally X2 in favor to get this guy, and I don't regret it. My only things, like I said, is that software, and right here, these corners are a tiny bit scratchy, but I got a couple plans for that. Also, not a huge fan of this sandstone. That's what they call this color. I don't know. It's not ugly. It's just not, I don't know if it's for me, but I got an idea of some way to fix that, and that's going to come in another video. I'm going to do some upgrades on this guy. We're going to put a new hard drive in there, a bigger hard drive, and a case and stuff like that. I got a couple of upgrades I'm going to work on. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys just my first feedback on it and kind of my next impressions. And so, I really appreciate you checking out the video. Just take it easy and keep gaming.